Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to sift through all that tech jargon and spec sheets, really just to give you the clear insights you need to make a choice.
Exactly.
And today we're tackling a big one for anyone just getting into mirrorless cameras. It's the Canon EOS R10 versus the Canon EOS R50.
Yeah, it's a really interesting comparison. These two cameras, they sit right there in that same sort of entry-level spot, but they're really aimed at two quite different creators, fundamentally.
Right, two very compact, very capable cameras. And honestly, they share so much tech that at first glance, it feels, well, almost impossible to choose between them.
It does. And that's kind of the point we want to make today. We're here to cut through that confusion because, based on everything we've looked at, the decision actually has almost nothing to do with image quality.
Okay, that's interesting. So not image quality.
No, not really. And here's the surprise element, the thing you need to grasp right away. If you took these two cameras, put them side by side, shot a simple landscape, the pictures would look, well, pretty much identical.
Indistinguishable.
Exactly. They're built on this shared, really strong foundation.
Okay, so let's break down that foundation, because if people understand that, they can stop worrying about the basic quality aspect.
Right. So both the R10 and the R50, they're part of Canon's excellent RF mount system. That's super important for the future, right? Compatibility with all those great lenses.
Future-proofing.
And then under the hood, the engine, it's identical. They both have the exact same 24.2 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor, and they both run on Canon's powerful DIGX image processor.
Identical sensor, identical processor. So things like color science, dynamic range, the actual raw data, it's essentially a tie game.
It really is. Even the file formats you can shoot in are the same. You get CRAW, HEIF, JPEG, standard RAW, all available on both.
Okay, so that really clarifies things. It means your choice becomes purely about function, about how you use the camera.
Precisely. Since the image quality baseline is level, we have to look at how they perform differently, under pressure, or how they make creating easier. And that leads us straight to the biggest split: speed for action versus, let's say, specialized features for video work.
All right, let's tackle speed first. Because this seems to be where the R10 really shines, where it makes its case for being the action photographer's choice.
Oh, absolutely. The R10 is really geared towards capturing that split-second moment. Think sports, wildlife, maybe even some racing. It's all about the burst shooting, specifically using the mechanical shutter.
And the number.
The R10 hits up to 15 frames per second with that mechanical shutter, which frankly is incredibly fast for a camera in this category.
Okay, 15 fps, mechanical. Why is the word mechanical so important here, especially when we're talking fast action?
That's the crucial difference. See, when you're shooting something moving really fast, like, say, a race car blurring past, or even just the rapid flap of a bird's wings, a purely electronic shutter can sometimes cause problems.
Like distortion.
Exactly. It's called rolling shutter distortion. It can make vertical lines look slanted or warped because the sensor reads the data line by line, and if the subject moves too fast during that readout, well, things get skewed.
Okay.
Using a proper mechanical shutter, like the R10 does at that high 15 fps speed, basically eliminates that risk. It ensures the image frame stays accurate, which is vital for serious action shots.
So that pretty clearly defines the R10 user, doesn't it? Someone who needs that kind of professional burst reliability for capturing motion accurately.
Without a doubt. But then you flip the coin. If your main goal is creating video content, that's where the R50 starts showing its specialized strengths.
Right, the R50 as the video tool. Tell us about that.
Well, okay, both cameras shoot 4K video, that's true. But the way the R50 produces its 4K is superior. It uses 6K oversampling.
6K oversampling. And unpack that for us. What does that mean practically?
So imagine you want a really detailed 4K image. You could just capture exactly 4K pixels worth of data. Or, like the R50 does, you could capture more data, a full 6K resolution image, and then intelligently scale that down to 4K.
Okay.
By starting with more information, that downscaled 4K file ends up being significantly sharper, cleaner, with less noise, and just better overall detail, especially in complex textures. And the R50 does this uncropped at up to 30 frames per second.
Uncropped is key there, too.
It is. You keep your lens's full field of view. So yeah, the R50 gives you this higher quality, cleaner 4K video right out of the camera.
That sounds like a massive advantage if your primary output is video, especially if you want to look polished.
It really is. And then there's slow motion. For creators who love that smooth slow-mo effect, the R50 has another clear edge.
How so?
It can record full HD video that's 1080p at up to 120 frames per second. So if you want that really silky, smooth, slow motion, maybe for product shots, B-roll, capturing water splashes,
Yeah.
the R50 just handles that natively and much better.
And I remember reading about a specific feature on the R50 that just seems purpose-built for vloggers or tutorial makers.
Yes. The movie for close-up demo mode. It's actually quite clever. It's a mode where the camera automatically and instantly shifts focus to whatever object you hold up closest to the lens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you're reviewing a product or showing a detail in a tutorial, you just hold it up and bam, focus snaps to it. Then you pull it away and focus goes back to you. No more fumbling with focus points on screen. It's a pure usability win for that kind of content.
That sounds incredibly useful. Okay, just to circle back and nail down the speed thing completely, the R50 can technically hit 1550s too, right? But there's a catch.
There is. The R50 reaches 1550s, but only using its fully electronic shutter. And as we just discussed, for really fast action, that electronic shutter carries the risk of rolling shutter distortion.
Right.
If you switch the R50 to its electronic first curtain shutter, which is kind of a hybrid mode, safer than fully electronic, the speed drops slightly to 12 frames per second.
So, still fast, but not quite the R10's 1550s mechanical.
Exactly. That little difference just reinforces the idea. R10 is the dedicated speed machine for stills.
Okay, that really clarifies the speed versus video features trade-off. It forces you to ask, do I need that absolute guaranteed mechanical speed, or are advanced video features my priority?
That's the core question right there.
So let's move on to autofocus and usability. Focus is obviously critical for everything stills, video, doesn't matter. Both use Canon's highly regarded dual-pixel CMOS AF tech, but I hear the R50 might actually have slightly more advanced specs here, which seems a bit counterintuitive for the, quote, lower model.
It does seem that way, but it makes sense when you think about the target user. Yes, both have great AF, but the R50 pushes it a bit further, specifically in ways that benefit hybrid creators and video shooters. The main thing is the coverage depth.
Coverage depth.
Yeah, the R50 features dual-pixel CMOS AF2, and it boasts 651 autofocus zones. Crucially, these zones provide 100% by 100% coverage across the entire sensor area.
Okay, what does that 100% coverage actually do for the person shooting?
It means incredible reliability, especially if your subject, or you, if you're vlogging, is moving around the frame. The autofocus can track that subject right to the very edge, top to bottom, side to side. There are no dead zones near the borders.
I see.
And this system relies heavily on deep learning algorithms for its subject detection. It's remarkably good at finding and sticking to eyes, faces, animals, even vehicles.
So if I'm like walking and talking to the camera for a vlog, or maybe filming my dog running around the yard, the R50 is just less likely to lose focus even if I drift towards the edge of the shot.
Precisely. That's the idea. While the R10's focus tracking is also excellent, don't get me wrong, the R50's sheer number of zones and that complete 100% coverage just give you that extra layer of confidence. It's closer to that set it and forget it focus, which is so valuable when you're trying to be both the camera operator and the talent.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, moving from the inside tech to the outside, the physical handling and how you actually see your shot. To make content, especially video, you absolutely need to see what you're doing clearly.
And this is another area where the R50 really caters to those hybrid shooters and vloggers. It comes down to the viewing tools. Now, both are nice and compact, lightweight, easy to carry, but the R50 gives you a slightly better viewing experience.
How so?
It has a 2.36 million dot electronic viewfinder, or EVF. It's bright, it's clear, but arguably more important for this user, it has that ClearView LCD2 vari-angle touchscreen.
Ah, the flip screen. That feels almost non-negotiable for vlogging, right? That's the difference between hoping you're framed okay and knowing you are.
Absolutely essential. You have to be able to flip that screen around 180 degrees to face forward, check your framing, make sure you're in focus. It's also incredibly useful for shooting vertical video for social media or getting creative angles like really low shots of pets or kids or high angles over obstacles without having to twist yourself into a pretzel. It just makes composing so much easier for that run and gun style.
Yeah, those practical usability things often make or break whether you actually enjoy using camera day to day. Let's touch on a couple of other smaller but still relevant details. Battery and charging.
Okay, yeah, subtle difference here, but it kind of hints at the intended use case again. Both cameras use the standard Canon LPE17 battery pack, which is common. However, the R10, typically in its standard kit, comes bundled with not just the dedicated wall charger, the LCE17, but also a USB power adapter, the PDE-1.
Okay, so the R10 includes that USB charging adapter in the box. What does that suggest?
It suggests that the R10 user, maybe the action or wildlife shooter, might be out in the field more, away from wall outlets. Being able to charge the camera directly via USB-C, maybe from a portable power bank, is a really valuable feature for extending shooting time on the go. It leans into that more mobile, performance-driven workflow.
Got it. And lastly, image stabilization. We know both rely heavily on the IS built into the lenses, the optical IS, but what about any stabilization happening in the camera body itself?
Right, so neither has in-body image stabilization or IBIS like higher-end cameras. They rely on lens IS primarily, but they do offer digital image stabilization. The R10 uses a pretty standard digital IS system. It helps smooth out some bumps.
And the R50.
The R50's digital IS is described a bit more complexly. It's often listed with options tied to metering modes like evaluative, partial, spot, center-weighted stabilization options. This suggests the R50 might be doing slightly more sophisticated digital adjustments, perhaps analyzing the scene and lighting more dynamically to apply stabilization. Again, a subtle hint towards optimizing for video and varied shooting conditions where things change fast.
Okay, so we firmly established image quality is basically a wash. The real differences are in how they're optimized. Let's try to tie this all together now and paint a clear picture of the ideal user for each camera, starting with the R10.
Okay, the R10. Given its standout feature, that fast 15 fps, mechanical burst shooting, and maybe a slightly more robust feel, which often comes with a slightly higher price point, well, the R10 is clearly aimed at the photography enthusiast first.
Someone whose main priority is capturing action.
Exactly. That decisive moment in sports, maybe birds in flight, unpredictable wildlife, even fast-paced street photography. It's for someone who values that raw speed and the reliability of the mechanical shutter for capturing motion without artifacts.
Yeah, it sounds like the perfect step up for someone coming from, say, a smartphone who really wants serious control and speed for still photos, and it offers room to grow their skills too.
Absolutely. Now, conversely, the R50, if you primarily see yourself as a video creator, a hybrid shooter doing both stills and video, or just a visual storyteller making content for online platforms, the R50 feels tailor-made. Because you get that superior 6K oversampled 4K video quality, you get the high frame rate 120 fps slow motion and full HD, you get that absolutely crucial vari-angle flip screen, and you get those autofocus features like 100% coverage and the close-up demo mode that are just so helpful for content creation.
And we should also mention the R50 often comes in at a slightly more accessible price point, right?
Right.
And it has those extra beginner-friendly features like the A+ assist mode to kind of help guide newcomers.
That's right. It can be a bit more approachable for someone just starting out, especially if video is a big part of their plan. So yeah, looking at them side by side, R10 is the performance-focused speed tool for photographers. R50 is the smart, user-friendly video and hybrid tool.
What's really great here, though, is that whichever one you pick, you're investing in that same excellent Canon RF system.
Exactly. Both of these cameras will work beautifully with the newer, affordable RFS lenses designed for APS-C, but they can also use Canon's professional full-frame RF lenses. And with an adapter, you can even mount all those older EF and EFS DSLR lenses.
So system-wise, you really can't make a bad choice here. You're getting into a modern, well-supported ecosystem either way.
The decision truly just boils down to matching your main creative goal to the camera's specific strengths. You really just need to ask yourself, what's my primary challenge? Is it capturing incredibly fast blink-and-you-miss-it moments where mechanical reliability is paramount?
Whoa.
Or is my challenge more about crafting a compelling video narrative, needing top-notch video quality, easy self-shooting features, and flexible composition?
That sums it up perfectly. It's that fundamental trade-off we've been exploring. Pure speed and mechanical action readiness with the R10 versus enhanced video quality and creator-focused usability with the R50.
Yeah. Are you freezing a single decisive split second in time? That leans R10? Or are you building a continuous story through moving images? That leans R50.
That ultimately is the question you need to answer for yourself. Are you primarily documenting the moment, or are you building the story? Thanks for diving deep into these specs with us today.